Money in the Bank 2024 is in the books, and it's probably going to go down as a very controversial PLE. I'm going to start out with saying my thoughts. I thought the entire PLE was fantastic. I loved every single match. It was a car crash. It was crazy spots. Both men's and the women's Money in the Bank were fantastic matches on its own. And I just thought the overall PLE, the crowd, the production, everything about it was amazing. There's a couple of road bumps that happen along the way with this PLE of Money in the Bank. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, and comment down below what y'all thought about this PLE. But let's just start off with the first match of the night, which was the men's Money in the Bank. We all know that Jey Uso was a favorite going into this match, and it was really kind of a toss-up of what direction and what storyline they wanted to tell. Jey Uso was about to win, but Drew McIntyre slid in at the last second, threw a ladder at him, hit him with a claymore, climbed the ladder, and grabbed the briefcase. So Drew McIntyre ends up winning, but if we remember from about 6 days ago on Monday Night Raw, he told us that he was going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I said from there on that Drew McIntyre has a very, very, very high percentage chance of winning this match because he has not told a lie in 8 months. This man's character has been straightforward, straight to the point, and telling the truth. And he told us he was going to win, and he also told us he was going to cash in. Remember what he said. Right after the match, he sent out a tweet on Twitter that said, "Ha ha ha, remember what I said," and that he cashed in that same night. And this is where the controversial part starts to happen. So that was the first match of the night. We're going to skip match 2 because this is so important, and we're going to match 3, which was Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins for the title. By the way, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins was fantastic. Seth Rollins looks like an absolute machine coming off that meniscus tear. It looks like it never even happened. That man is on another level. Regardless of that, the match was going. Seth Rollins goes for a pin. It was a 1-2-3 pin, and the ref did not count it, even though Damian didn't kick out. I'm sure most of you saw already, but I think in my perspective, from my understanding, I think that Drew McIntyre's music was late. I don't know if it was the ref's fault, I don't know if it was Priest's fault, and I don't know if it was the production team in the truck's fault for not hitting his music, but the understanding I came up with is that his music just didn't hit at the right time when it was supposed to, and that's why Damian didn't kick out. I could be wrong, that's just what I'm guessing, but Drew McIntyre comes out like 10 seconds late after the botch finish that should have ended the match because it was a 1-2-3. Priest didn't kick out. Seth should be your world championship, but mistakes happen, they're human, it's live television, stuff's gonna happen like that, I understand. So Drew McIntyre comes out, immediately cashes in 2 matches after. He starts to try and beat up Seth Rollins, and then Priest comes back in the mix, and then out of nowhere, CM Punk comes behind him, starts attacking him, beating him with a chair on the outside, straight up abusing him, grabs the title, hits him upside the head. Damian Priest hits a South of Heaven on Drew McIntyre, 1-2-3. CM Punk screws Drew McIntyre again. And a lot of people were mad because normally people don't like same-day cash-ins. I'm kind of one of those people, but I understood why they did it. So Punk and Drew McIntyre's feud is building up. That's what they wanted to do with the Money in the Bank briefcase. They wanted to implement it into a storyline to make it more attachable, more memorable. And that's what they did with the same-day cash-in and have CM Punk screw Drew McIntyre again. But most of the complaints online is we were already ready for this feud. You didn't have to add more flames to the fire or whatever the case may be. But I'm here to say that that cash-in actually wasn't a bad decision. I know, just hear me out, If Jey Uso would have won that Money in the Bank contract, if Chad Gable would have won that Money in the Bank contract, who, when, and where are they going to cash in? Cody Rhodes is unstoppable. He cannot be cashed in right now. This storyline of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the whole entire bloodline, this whole thing with The Rock, that can't be messed up right now by a briefcase cash-in. That would ruin the entire storyline. That would flip it on its head, and we would all be like, what? That's not what we wanted. So Cody Rhodes is off the table for cashing in for the WWE Championship. And then you look at the world title that's been floating around with sharks for months. People are circling this title. Everyone wants a piece of it. Just think about it. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, all the Gunther. Everyone wants this world title. So if you have the Money in the Bank briefcase, we don't want to cash it in on a mid-card anymore because we've seen what happened in the past. People didn't like that with Austin Theory. But if you have this briefcase and you can't cash it in on Cody Rhodes, and if you cash it in on the World Heavyweight title, implementing a storyline with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre that's messing up everything. And I would say that these storylines are going to go to WrestleMania. That is such a long ways away, even though it doesn't seem like that. WrestleMania is damn near 6 to 8 months, and like, bro, that's a long time to hold the briefcase and think that you're going to cash in on someone when there's really not an opportunity. I get a cash in just for the sake of a cash in, maybe a swerve or something like that. But if you cash in on Cody Rhodes, you ruin that entire storyline. If you cash in on Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest or Gunther, you ruin that whole storyline of all those big guys trying to make a storyline, like the CM Punk and Seth Rollins storyline is going to be WrestleMania. Obviously, it's going to be WrestleMania. It's probably going to main event night 1. That's what CM Punk wants. If you're going to ruin that with a cash-in from a Jey Uso or a Chad Gable, no one wants to see that when there is a more important storyline that is being built. And this storyline has been being built ever since CM Punk has came back. Ever since he debuted at the Royal Rumble, this storyline has been cooking. That was 7 months ago. The Royal Rumble was 7 months ago. Bro, that would ruin the entire storyline if some random person just cashed in. So they had to get rid of the briefcase. And yes, it wasn't an ideal spot. It wasn't like a surprise. We kind of knew it was coming. And it was a botch finish with a failed cash-in. So I understand the hate, I completely do. But I'm here to say that that same day cash-in, even though it was a botch, it was the right decision. Because there was no right time to cash in that briefcase in the next 8 months. The main event scene is too crowded. Cody Rhodes can't lose. Whoever has the world title can't lose because everyone's gunning for it. And it would really just hit a swerve in the main event scene if that would happen. And like I said, no one wants to see a mid-card cash-in again. We saw Austin Theory with the U.S. title. That shit was trash. We don't want to see a mid-card cash-in again. So the only way to have this happen is just to do a same-day cash-in and have him fail so the titles don't change, and it enhances the CM Punk storyline with Drew McIntyre, and it also enhanced the Seth Rollins and the CM Punk storyline that I'm assuming is for WrestleMania after CM Punk is done with all this shit with Drew McIntyre. Hey man, I understand the hate, and I know I just talked about that for a while, but I really don't think it was a bad decision for the same-day cash-in. The execution was piss poor. I don't know if it was the production or the ref or Damian Priest. I don't know what it was, but it was piss poor of a production team. It could have been done a lot better, but I'm going to say the cash-in was not a mistake. It was the right decision. Now that I got that out the way, let's just talk about the entire Money in the Bank as a whole. We got Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. That match was absolutely insane. Wrong choice. This was another kind of about the Money in the Bank. Why is Sami Zayn beating Braun Breaker at this stage of Braun Breaker's career? Sami Zayn does not need this win. Where's Braun Breaker going to go? What's Braun Breaker going to do? It's time. Like, you pushed him this far enough, and you're going to have him lose to the underdog Sami Zayn. Like, is he really an underdog anymore? He keeps winning. He keeps getting away with beating these top people that he's really, like, not meant to be. Like, I'm sorry. I love Sami Zayn. I love his character work. But why is he beating someone as menacing as Braun Breaker? It just doesn't make sense. I feel like Braun Breaker would have been an incredible Intercontinental Championship. Don't you guys agree? I don't know. I thought they made the wrong decision there, but Sami Zayn as Intercontinental Champion has been a good time, so I'm here for the ride. I'm excited to see what they have to do. Maybe they have another title match at the next PLE and Braun Breaker ends up winning. We'll have to see. And now we got the Women's Money in the Bank, which stole the show. This was match of the night. There was so many crazy spots, so many ladder spots. We had a table spot with Chelsea Green, and the ultimate winner, my personal favorite WWE superstar, is Tiffany Stratton, and she ended up winning Money in the Bank. If it wasn't Chelsea Green, it was going to be Tiffany Stratton. Let's be honest. She is a perfect character for Money in the Bank, and so is Chelsea Green. They're kind of similar in the same way, but they're kind of different as well. Tiffany Stratton is much better in the ring than Chelsea Green will ever be, and Tiffany Stratton is just a fantastic character worker. The way she talks, the tone of her voice, things like that. She is amazing. So I think they made the right decision there. I really did. Tiffany Stratton's probably going to hold this for a while, just so we have that Money in the Bank briefcase of, like, the lure of her creeping around in the background and, like, the champions like Bailey or Liv Morgan. They never know when they're going to get cashed in on by Tiffany Stratton. So I feel like she would hold this for a long time. But like I said, match of the night. Every woman in this match, standing ovation. That was incredible. It was the best women's in the Money in the Bank match that I've ever witnessed personally. And now we got the whole bloodline thing. We talked about it before. We all knew the bloodline was not going to win. It was either going to be DQ or the bloodline would dominate. And what happened? The bloodline dominated like we thought. The bloodline can't lose in these situations right here. They can't lose until Roman Reigns shows face. The bloodline has to get on this roll. They have to stay hot. They have to stay on fire. And if they were to lose to these baby faces right here on Friday Night SmackDown, they don't need this win. They didn't need that win. They can take these losses because the bloodline is known as such a threat, of such a domination. Like, it's okay to lose. And people were pretty upset that they pinned Cody 1, 2, 3 clean. But was it really clean, though? Because they all teamed up against him, dominated him, threw the ref back in, and made him count 1, 2, 3. So it wasn't the cleanest 1, 2, 3. Let's not just all act like Solo Sikoa completely bodied Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one ring and pinned him 1, 2, 3, because that's not what happened. The bloodline made Cody Rhodes weak, Solo spiked him, and then Solo pinned him. I don't think that's actually a bad decision, and many people were like upset about that, saying Randy or Kevin Owens could have got pinned. I think the best case scenario, if you want Solo to look strong, if you want Solo to look like the next tribal chief, why not have him pin Cody Rhodes in such a dominant way that the bloodline beats him up and then he takes the pin and it's a clean 1, 2, 3? Why not? I don't see why not. Yes, he's our undisputed WWE champion. We understand that. But the whole entire storyline and the biggest storyline of the business is going to be this bloodline storyline. We have to make them look as vicious as possible so that when Roman Reigns comes back, he can act however he wants to act, whether it's turning on Solo, which I think he's going to spear the shit out of Solo when he comes back at SummerSlam. Maybe, hopefully. But I really do. I really do. I thought it was a good decision. Kevin Owens was there. He could have took the pin. It would have been kind of the same result. Well, we just have that one edge where Solo wants Cody. Solo already pinned Cody, and now they just need their one-on-one match. Hey, man, overall, the bloodline looked great. The woman in the Money in the Bank looked great. Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn looked great. It wasn't the match with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest was great, even though the botch, the cash-in, I think was a good idea, even if it was executed poorly. And the men's Money in the Bank, like, it was still a great match as well. It was a great ladder match. There was a lot of hype to it. So overall, like, this PLE, like, I'm giving it a 8.6 out of 10. I thought it was really, really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. I was smiling the whole time. I was laughing. I was live on Twitch, and I was live on YouTube. So I appreciate everyone for popping out. Appreciate you guys watching the TikToks and these videos and stuff like that. If you guys like these type of videos, make sure to drop a like, comment down below what you thought about the PLE, and hit that subscribe button. Other than that, it's been your boy Drew Dimes, and I'm out. Peace.